In 1998, a researcher named Dr. Hajime Fukuda at Tohoku University in Japan walked out of a fetal monitoring session with a question no one in his lab had thought to ask before. He had been tracking the nervous system responses of fetuses in the third trimester. The monitors spat out long strips of thermal paper, long lines of fetal heart rates, wave after wave, session after session. The data from Japanese mothers looked different from comparison groups in other countries. Not slightly different, consistently, measurably, statistically different. He ran the numbers again. Same result. When Japanese mothers experienced emotional stress, their babies' nervous systems recovered faster. Their fetal heart rate variability, the biological marker of how stable and flexible a nervous system is, was higher. Their babies spent more time in calm behavioral states and less time in agitated ones. Same species, same 9 months, same biology growing in the dark. So what was Japan doing differently? The answer is 2 words. You will know both of them by the end of this video. And more importantly, you will know how to use what they mean tonight, before you go to sleep. This channel does one thing. It tells parents what the research actually says, not what parenting culture wants them to hear. And what the research says about what Japanese babies feel inside the womb is something most Western parents have never been told. Stay with me, because one of these concepts does not translate into English at all. And the reason it does not translate is exactly why it works. Here is the data that makes Japan worth paying close attention to. A 2019 study published in Early Human Development followed 340 pregnant women across 3 countries, the United States, Germany, and Japan. Researchers measured one specific thing: how smoothly and how often fetuses moved between sleep, active movement, and quiet wakeful states inside the womb. In the Japanese group, fetuses transitioned between these states more smoothly. Their average cortisol exposure across the third trimester was measurably lower. And when their mothers did experience stress, because all mothers experience stress, the fetal nervous system returned to a calm baseline faster than in either of the other 2 groups. The gap was not small. The average cortisol recovery time in the Japanese group was 34% faster than the American group and 27% faster than the German group. Same species, same biology, same basic needs. So what is happening differently? The researchers pointed to 2 things embedded so deeply in Japanese culture that most Japanese mothers do not think of them as practices at all. They think of them as just how you live. Here is the first one. It is called Anshin. Anshin, peaceful certainty. There is no English translation. That is not an accident. The closest you can get is something like peaceful certainty, but even that misses it. In English, calm is something you reach when the problem is solved, when the to-do list is done, when the argument is resolved, when the worry goes away. Calm is the destination. Anshin is different. Anshin is the practice of inner stillness regardless of what is happening around you, not the absence of problems, the presence of rootedness inside the problems. It is not a feeling you wait for. It is a discipline you maintain. That difference sounds philosophical, but inside a pregnant body. Date. It is neurological. Here's what is happening in your baby's nervous system right now. When you feel stress, real stress, the kind that tightens your chest and speeds up your thoughts, your body releases cortisol. That cortisol crosses the placenta in minutes. Your baby does not understand why you are stressed. They have no idea what a difficult conversation or a hard day at work is, but their body receives the chemical signal of it. Their heart rate shifts. Their movement changes. Their stress response system activates. Researchers at Kyoto University studied this link in detail. In a 2016 study, they monitored fetal heart rate variability in real time while mothers moved through natural periods of calm and emotional tension. When the mother's nervous system was regulated, the fetal nervous system stabilized within 7 to 9 minutes. When the mother stayed emotionally dysregulated for extended periods, the fetal nervous system showed something different. Not a spike, not a crisis, but a chronic low hum of biological alertness. A quiet state of readiness that, repeated daily across weeks and months, slowly shifted where the nervous system set its baseline. Your baby's brain is growing at roughly 250,000 new neurons per minute in the second trimester. It does not grow in silence, it grows inside your emotional environment. And the only question a developing nervous system knows how to ask is this: is the world safe? The answer does not come from what you say. It comes from what your body does, hundreds of times every single day before your baby has ever seen your face. Anshin is not about being calm all the time. No one is calm all the time. Anshin is about having a regulated center you can return to, a practice stillness your body knows how to find. And every time you find it, every deliberate breath, every moment of physical grounding, your baby's nervous system receives that signal too. That is Anshin inside the womb. And the second concept is even more specific. It is called Taikyou. Taikyou, fetal education. But that translation is almost completely wrong. In Western culture, education means information transfer, lessons, input, things you teach. Taikyou is nothing like that. Taikyou is the practice of treating your unborn baby as a relational partner from the very beginning of pregnancy, not a passenger who will become a person when they arrive, a person you are already in a relationship with, a person who is already listening, already tasting, already feeling the emotional texture of your days. Think about what is actually happening inside your belly right now. By 9 weeks, your baby is already moving, stretching, turning, making tiny motions you cannot feel yet. By the second trimester, they can somersault, bring a thumb to their mouth, and change positions multiple times an hour. You only feel about 10% of it. The rest is hidden from you, but it is happening. At 20 weeks, your baby's taste buds are fully developed. Every flavor you eat passes into the amniotic fluid they swallow. Mothers who ate carrots regularly during pregnancy found their babies showed a clear preference for carrots at 6 months. Your baby is building their first food memories before they have taken a single bottle. Garlic, sweet, savory, bitter. It all reaches them, meaning the cuisine you naturally eat becomes part of their palate weeks before birth. But of all the senses developing in the dark, there is one that does not just pass information to your baby. It connects them directly to you, the most powerful finding. The one that makes Taikyou not just a cultural belief, but a biological fact, is this one. Dr. Barbara Kiselewski at Queen's University ran a study in which 30 fetuses listened to a recording of their own mother reading a poem. Another 30 fetuses listened to a stranger reading the same poem. The results went in opposite directions. When fetuses heard their mother's voice, their heart rate accelerated. When they heard the stranger, it slowed. Two completely different biological responses to the same words. Because the difference was not the words, it was the voice. The specific acoustic signature of one person, heard hundreds of times a day through the walls of the body it was growing inside. Your baby already knows your voice, not because you performed for them, because you existed near them, because you talked and laughed and sang off key in the kitchen, and your baby was there for all of it, building a map of who you are before they ever saw your face. Taikyou formalizes this. It makes what your baby is already doing, already listening, already learning, already reaching toward connection, something you joined deliberately. And the research shows that deliberate maternal presence changes something measurable in the prenatal environment. A 2021 study from Osaka University followed 180 first-time mothers. Have practiced regular conscious fetal connection, talking to the baby, placing hands on the belly with focused attention, treating the pregnancy as an ongoing relationship. Half did not. At 6 months postpartum, the babies of engaged mothers scored higher on social responsiveness and showed faster maternal voice recognition. The researchers identified the mechanism. It was not the talking itself. It was the state the mother was in while talking. Intentional connection lowers cortisol. Lower cortisol means a calmer prenatal environment. A calmer prenatal environment means a nervous system that arrives with a lower stress baseline and a greater readiness to engage with the world. Taikyou does not teach your baby facts. It teaches your baby that connection exists, that the world already responds to them, that they are, before they can form a single word, already known. Now here is a specific finding that should change what you do tonight. A 2018 study published in Developmental Psychobiology recruited 112 pregnant women and split them into two groups. The first group continued their normal routines. The second group was asked to do one thing once a day. Lie down, place both hands on the belly, breathe slowly to a count of 4 in and 4 out, and focus their attention deliberately on the baby, not on worries about the baby, not on birth plans or fears, just on the present, physical sense of the baby being there. 5 minutes. That was the entire intervention. At 38 weeks, researchers measured fetal heart rate variability. The group that had practiced the 5-minute daily presence ritual showed measurably higher heart rate variability than the control group, more stable, more flexible, more regulated. 5 minutes of deliberate attention, repeated daily, with a measurable biological result inside the womb. That is not a parenting philosophy. That is biology. And it is available to you tonight, no matter where you are or what your day look like. Before the practical part, one honest note. Because this channel does not do promotional content, Japan is not a perfect model. Japan has some of the highest rates of maternal workplace pressure in the developed world. Many Japanese mothers carry enormous cultural expectations alongside the practices described in this video. The fetal data reflects the Anshin emphasis, but for many Japanese women, achieving Anshin under real-life conditions is genuinely difficult. The research on Taikyou is promising, but prenatal outcomes are shaped by nutrition, medical access, social support, and dozens of factors beyond any single practice. No single habit changes everything. What the data supports is the principle that your emotional state is part of your baby's developmental environment, that your unborn baby is already a relational partner, not a future person. That principle has been replicated across multiple independent research teams. I am not asking you to become Japanese. I am asking you to take the principle. Apply what you can, starting with these 4 things. 4 principles, starting tonight. Principle 1. The regulation check. Once a day, stop and ask your body one question. Am I regulated right now? Not happy? Not stress-free? Just, is my nervous system calm enough to send a calm signal? If the answer is no, the most powerful thing you can do for your baby right now is regulate yourself first. Slow breathing. Physical stillness. 3 minutes. That is Anshin made practical, and it is the signal your baby's nervous system is waiting to receive. Principle 2. The 5-minute presence. Use it tonight. Lie down, both hands on your belly. Breathe slowly. Do not think about what you are afraid of. Think about the baby who is actually there right now, practicing breathing movements through those rhythmic little hiccups, or turning their head toward the warm glow of light filtering through your skin. A researcher at Lancaster University found that fetuses in the 3rd trimester will actually turn their heads to follow face-like patterns of light projected through the uterine wall. Your baby is already looking for you before they have ever seen a face. 5 minutes. That is Taikyou in its most practical form. Principle 3. Let them hear you being real. Your baby already knows your voice. Every sentence near your belly, every song you hum, every conversation you have. Your baby is building a full map of your emotional range, not just the sound of calm. The full spectrum. The rise of laughter. The softness you use with people you love. You do not need special words. Just let them hear you being the person you are. Dr. Kizilewski's research proved that this familiarity is measurably part of who your baby will be on day 1. Principle 4. Start the relationship now. Stop thinking of birth as the beginning. It is not the beginning. It is the first face-to-face meeting in a relationship that is already months deep. By the time you hold your baby for the first time, you will not be strangers. You will be old friends finally getting to see each other. Your baby already knows your voice. They already know the taste of your kitchen. They already know the rhythm of your days and the sound of your laugh. Start acting like someone they already know, because they already do. So the next time you feel those small flutters from inside your body, pause. Just for a moment. That is not just a baby growing. That is a tiny nervous system asking its first question. Is the world safe? Is the person I depend on completely going to be okay? And the answer is not in your words. The answer is in your body, in your breath, in the way you return to calm, in the deliberate 5 minutes you spend with both hands on your belly, present, unhurried, simply there. Japanese culture understood this long before the research confirmed it, not through a program or a method, through presence, through the radical, ancient act of treating your baby as someone worth showing up for, months before the meeting. Every calm breath you take is information your baby receives. Every deliberate moment of connection is a message they are already reading. Every time you place your hands on your belly and let yourself be still, you are answering the question. And the answer you give, repeated across hundreds of ordinary days, is the nervous system they will carry into the world. That is not a small thing. That is everything. Tell me in the comments, have you started talking to your baby yet? What do you say? The parent reading your comment at midnight, one hand on their belly in the dark, needs to know they are not the only one who does that. Next week, what happens inside your baby's brain in the first 72 hours after birth? There is one specific thing most hospitals do routinely in those hours that researchers now describe as the single most overlooked opportunity in early development. The neuroscience behind it is not what most parents expect.